Hi, I'm Darren Pierce. I'm station manager for Principia Internet Radio, and I'm going to give you a brief tour of the internet radio station we have here, as well as the recording studio and voiceover suite and video editing bays that we have downstairs. All right, as we head into PIR here, we've got a little scheduling display on the right. And a little bulletin board here, or students can post flyers and whatnot. We've got some offices. We've got a club office for Principia Internet Radio Club to operate out of, and then we've got my office, and we've got a storage closet. And then as we head in here, we've got our 3 studio rooms with the air studio down on the right, a talk studio in the middle, and then finally our production studio here on the left. I'll start in here. In the production studio, the students have the ability to record any of our microphones and record content from a computer, a device, or obviously voice, and edit it all together in Adobe Audition to produce their final product. The students in here can record anything that would go live on the air. They could record it also simultaneously and or separately in order to produce shows and promos and anything that they want to do. They can create it in here. We have Adobe Audition, and we also have the non-live station version of Wide Orbit, which is our automation system, the industry standard automation system. We have a Wide Orbit station in here so the students can access the music and also put their promos and productions into the system from here. We have a hybrid in here, a basic analog hybrid connected to this telephone over here so we can record phone conversations. And then we've got a standard input for a phone or a computer to be injected into the audio and recorded as well. The next room down here is the talk studio. In the talk studio we have 4 microphones, headphones, and volume on and on-off control panels there. So guests and hosts can sit here. We have a computer for the host position, and conversations can happen, and conversation can be recorded and or put live on the air simultaneously. Finally, down here we have the air studio. The air studio doubles as a classroom, so we've got some seats over here where students can all sit, and then we've got a display up in the top corner here where we can put the software that we're teaching or whatever we need to do. We can display it up there for the students. But the station is a state-of-the-art wide orbit automation system with Axia digital consoles. The entire studio is equipped with Axia digital consoles and equipment. So we have a total of 8 microphones, 2 in here, 2 in the production studio, and of course 4 in the talk studio. And any of those 8 microphones and any of the other equipment, CD players and connection points, can all be accessed by anywhere, either console, and be put on the faders here, and so that the studio is 100% flexible in that way. This has been recently upgraded. Just a couple of years ago, I upgraded to the latest version of Wide Orbit, so we've got the new software and the new screen, so the students are learning that which is currently being used by industry radio stations. So that's happening, and it's working really well. We're very happy with it. Over here we've got a producer station with a computer for a producer and a microphone if they need to communicate during a production. But otherwise, these are our 3 studios. We're also recently incorporating video, so I'm doing some experimentation. We've got some cameras there, and a student's got a laptop here so that they can simultaneously video their live radio productions or produce radio productions in order to create video content like video podcasts while still using the radio station. So that's been really useful, and the students are experimenting with that. That's pretty much it. That's PIR, Principia Internet Radio. This is our station. And next, let's head on downstairs to the recording studio. All right, as we come downstairs, we'll come down this hall right here and over to our recording studio here on the left. We have a nice recording studio that's been recently upgraded over the last few years. We've been acquiring new equipment and really bringing the thing up to par, the space. We have two rooms here. We have a recording room, this is where all of our instruments and microphones and everything are, of course, with the drums and the singing microphones. We got a piano in here, some other keyboards. We've got guitar amplifiers and other equipment back in the back corner there. Our collection of headphones and cables and mic stands and whatnot are all in here. and the students all have access to that. Then finally, here in our control room, the recording control room, we have the heart of the setup, of course, which is a Pro Tools HD native setup running on a Mac. We have a session open there. We've got a nice monitor setup with a set of near fields, a set of midfield monitors here from Neumann, and we've got the Oratones, and as well as the original EV Century 500s that were here since the studio was built. We've got a display for teaching class so that the professor can put the software up on the big screen and teach that way. And of course, the students then are, right now during social distancing, we don't have a lot of students close together, but the students normally, we could have chairs all laid out here, and that's where they all sit. So we've got an old mixer we kept around since the beginning. This mixer is used to teach analog mixing on, and we use its mic preamplifiers as well. We got a synthesizer and a keyboard there for MIDI instruments, a monitor controller station, and then down in our rack, we've got the outboard gear. We've got our 8 channels of mic preamplification with a tube mic pre and a solid state, and then a really nice flagship API microphone preamplifier, some distressor compressor units there, and then our patch bay, as well as our Pro Tools input-output system at the bottom. And that's our recording studio. The crux of it, this is our cabinet full of microphones and historic items like records and things like that. So the students all have access to this. So there's several classes that are taught in here by Professor Jim Hegarty in the music department, and we have a whole music production track which allows students to get a degree in music production. And we also have an electronic music minor, I believe, and all of that includes classes in here in the recording studio. So those students would, of course, use the facility for that. But in addition to that, anybody on campus that goes through my training can get a key and get access to the space and use it for their own purposes. So whatever they want to do, personal projects, even projects that involve producing people from other places. If they want to bring them in as their guest and schedule time in here and use our space to produce things, they can do that. And so I take care of all of the goings-ons here and make sure that everything stays working. And the priority, of course, is classes and the jazz band and the choral groups and the orchestra, and anybody that wants to record in here has priority access, of course. So this is pretty much it. And next we'll move into the edit bays and the voiceover suite. We'll take a quick look at that as we head out and down the hall here. So this is our hall that leads into the media services department area, and in it on the right here we've got 5 doors. The first door on the right is our voiceover suite. I'll come back to that. And then these second 4 doors are video edit suites. The doors on the left are now offices and storage. And so I'll show you real quick what the edit suites and voiceover suites look like. So the edit suites are pretty much all the same. They have a 27-inch iMac in them, a pair of audio monitors, and students can get access to these rooms and sit in here and use the software that's provided on all of them, which would be Final Cut, Adobe Audition, Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, and other Adobe products that are needed for graphics design and video production and audio production. So, but mainly these are video edit suites. So the students that are doing video production work, personal or otherwise, get keys to these spaces and have access to them to work on their projects. The one down here on the end, which you should just be called Video Edit 1, we decided to add a microphone and audio system to it and turn it into what we now call the voiceover suite, because the students often make films and they need to create proper voiceovers. And so we've got an SM7 microphone here. I have another RE20 that goes here. That'll be back later. And then some audio monitors, and we've really optimized the space with the Apollo Aero interface there to record audio. So, and we had this custom desk built recently, which is really nice. And so you can have 2 or more people come in here and you can have the producer sit here, and then the two guests or whatever sit here with their scripts and read their voiceovers and get that recorded and recorded right along with the video that they've created, since all these rooms are connected via the network and so on, and we can move files around easily. So that's the voiceover suite. It's also, as you can see, it's got audio treatment to it. The other rooms sound pretty boxy. This room at least has got a little bit of audio sound deadening, which is useful. So that's dedicated to that, even though you can still edit video in there. So, all right, well, let's move on to the TV studio now. And this is the TV studio. I'm Eric Lines. I'm the video production manager and TV studio manager here. And this is the control room space that we have available to our students. You can see that we're kind of working with an older shell. This space has been here since 1992. The rack over here is all of our old gear, the old camera control units, the switcher, etc. Since then, just within the last 3 years, we've actually updated to a Blackmagic design system. So we have the TV Studio Pro 4K version, all SDI lines to and from the camera. So we have camera control through this unit as well. You can see we just have a single multi-view monitor here on the desk. Blackmagic recorder, digital audio mixer, and then we also have the Tilta Nucleus M wireless control, follow focus, and zoom controls attached to the lenses of each camera. So you can take a look at that once we get into the actual studio. We also have this space, which is set up a little bit differently because of COVID restrictions. Usually there's a full complement of seating available for students to hang out, look over the shoulder of the professor or the director, whoever it is, take notes. It's also a place for producers, the professor, when the actual shows are going on, to sit and hang out and observe everything that's going on. So now let's head into the actual studio. So this is the studio itself. Right now we have it set up with this single continuous wall in terms of a background. We're also in the process of upgrading this space. We're getting new furniture actually later this week, so that's pretty exciting. The cameras themselves are, and yeah, we have the full lighting grid up top. We have Mole Richardson lights, which are the Mole pole lights, which can be controlled from the ground. Both tilt, pan, and focus on those instruments. We also have the KinoFlow panels, some older scoop cyc lights, etc. And the cameras themselves are the Blackmagic Ursa 4.6K cameras. And if you look over on this side, you can see the Tilta system that we have set up. So we have Sigma lenses that have been geared, that we've had the cinema gears added to them, and then the Tilta controls that can be controlled either from these wireless handles down here or from the remote base station in the control room itself. We've added some things to the package of the cameras, the Blackmagic monitors, but the small rig shoulder mounts that are Manfrotto plates on the bottom so that we can take them off and use them on other tripods if we wanted to. And then we have what's not in use right now, but the teleprompters on the front of these lenses as well. There is not only the mass comm classes use this space, but we also have a student club, Principia College TV, or PCTV as we affectionately refer to it, that uses the space, and it is actually, I'm sure Steph will talk about this more, but it's Steph Bauer, the mass comm professor who's in charge of the classes, is also the sponsor for that club, so it's nice to have some crossover there. And of course, we in Media Services help support all the spaces that you just saw. And we hope you like what you see, and can't wait to show you around in person sometime if that ever comes to be.